What's up, everyone? This is Wayne Barron with Dark Effects TV, here to bring y'all an ASP Classic rotation tutorial. What I mean by rotation is your ad rotations. I know y'all familiar with the websites that have ads running, either top, side, bottom, or whatever. And every once in a while, these ads will change from one ad to another ad. Well, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And what we got here is that we've got an ad running up top, and then whenever we click here, I'm going to have it set that every 5 seconds this ad will change from what it is. And each one of these ads, whenever you click on them, they go to the ad page. And then each time that you click on an ad and it goes to its page, it will automatically count that ad as inside of your database table, so that you can actually keep track of each time that your ad is displayed. And then that way you can know how much traffic each ad is getting from your server to its destination. In this case, it's the Microsoft Store. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today, is that we're going to be creating this right here so that it will go, as you can see, each one goes to their own thing. We're going to be creating this ad so that it will go to a page, count it in the database, how many times that it's been viewed, and then also the link that goes to the page itself. So let's go ahead and jump into this one, and let's go ahead and make that stop. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, now I am using Dreamweaver, and but like so many you're familiar with, you can use anything. Okay, the way that I teach you how to do this stuff, it doesn't matter what you use. You can use typical Notepad, and I just like using Dreamweaver because, for one, the colors. It does really good for colors, and also the autocomplete for the CSS scoring. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. So the first thing that we want to do is I always do my stuff in VB script. So all my stuff, whenever I start it out, it starts out in VB script. So let's go ahead and save this file. Okay, let's go ahead and save this file to this folder right here. I'm going to name this main.asp. If you notice a little bit of jumping, my computer's not fast enough to do all this rendering, so I've got to slow things down a little bit. So anyway, those that have watched my ASP Classic tutorials are familiar with receiving the Access database and the downloads that you get off of my coding source site. However, in this tutorial, it's not Access database. We will be working with SQL Server. Now, if you do not have SQL Server, then you can go over to the Microsoft website. I'll have it down in the description, where you can download. It's either a 90-day or 180-day trial of the most recent SQL Server that they have available. So I want to say you'll probably be able to download the 2008 version. I'm using the 2005. And so what I'm showing you here will work across all versions from 2000 and up. So let's go ahead and create our database. Okay, let's right click here, create new database. Okay, now we're going to name our database ads, ADS. Go over here to our options, and from our recovery model, we want to change it from full to simple. Okay, what the recovery model does is that if you have it set as full, then your ads_log file is going to be huge. It will dump that joker at over a gig, if not more, even if you just got a few records inside your database. Having it as simple will only dump small files. So that's what we want, is we want small files. So let's go down here and click OK to create our new database. And there we go. We got our new database created down here. So let's go ahead and open it up, get over to our tables, right click and create new table. Have it open up here, over here on the side. Okay, the tables that we are wanting to create our okay, the first one we want to create is our ID. So let's do add ID. We're going to set it as an integer. We do not want to allow nulls. So we're going to right click here. We're going to set it as a primary key. We're going to go down here to our properties and scroll down to our identity specifications and set it to yes. Let's go back up here and let's do AD name, and that is a var character, and we're going to set it, jump back over here, set it at 250. Now we're going to be doing the same around here, so we're just going to copy it. Remember, copy and paste is your friend, and everything is not going to allow nulls. So add clicks is going to be an integer, and it is the only one that's going to be getting a default value, and its default value is going to be 0. This right here is our actual counter for whenever we add links. And our counter for every single time that the page is viewed or the ad is viewed. So we're going to save this, and this is going to be saved as add units. Okay. Now with our add units created, let's go ahead and minimize that. So we don't need it no more, at least not right now. So let's give our page ASP add rotation system. Save it. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is create a new page, and we're going to delete everything off from this page. And this right here is going to be what connects onto our database. So let's go ahead and connect onto our database. Whoops. Let's go ahead and copy this, and connection string equals provider equals SQL O L E D B data source is going to be backslash, and this is your instance name if you've got an instance name for your database server. If not, then you would leave that alone. That is our table name, and then our user ID, and then our password. Okay, then we go down here, and then we open our connection. Okay, we're going to save this as acn.asp. Now, if you notice, I've got stars right here beside my password. That's just because I'm not going to place my password to where all of you two can see it. So anyway, I'm going to insert my password here, but this is how you want it to look. You want your object connect equals create object for adodb.connection. Object connection dot connection string, which is your provider, your SQL OLEDB. Make sure that's spelled right. Data source, car server underscore whatever your server name is, and your instance name is. Database name is add. You user ID, whatever your ID is, and then your password. And then you gotta open your connection right here. So once you save it as ACN, then you're good to go. So let me go ahead and insert my password here, and then I will be right back and we'll continue. Okay, now we want to add our connection here. So let's go ahead and you want to put your connection anywhere that you might use it. Now, we're not going to be using it in this page per se, at least not now. It may be in another tutorial, but right now it's not going to be used here. But just in case, that is how you want to add it. It's going to be done with an include file right there. So now the next thing that we want to do is that we want to connect on to our jQuery, and so how we're going to do that is we're going to connect on to the one that is available to us via Google. And Google has a lot of great sources for us to connect on to, a lot of different versions, and the one that we're going to be using is our the version 130. So let's see, ajax.googleapis.com, Ajax libs jQuery 1.3.0 / jQuery .min.js. Okay, so after we got that one done, we want to write out our script again. Oops. Type JavaScript script. Okay, now we're going to do some jQuery work. Our var character auto underscore, and you can name this anything, it does not have to be this right here, equals set interval function let it load. I don't know why it does this for. Okay, go down, money sign, open it up, pound. This is our div ID tag, so this is run ads, and then fade out. And if you notice, we've got our out, our O is capital here. If it's not a capital, it will give an error. So we want it to be slow as it fades out. We want to load our ads.asp page that we're going to be creating next, and then we want to fade in with a capital I, and we want it to be slow. And then we close out. And we go down here, and we end our bracket. We go down to the next one. Well, actually, let's jump back over here. Put a comma here. 5, 1, 2, 3, and then we close out and end it. Okay, let's go through this right quick. Our run at is our div tag, which we're going to be creating right down here. We're going to fade out slowly. We're going to load the page ads.asp. We're going to fade in slow at 5 seconds. So 5,000 equals 5 seconds. This is in milliseconds. So 5,000 is 5 seconds. 10,000 is 10 seconds. 30,000, 30 seconds. 60,000 is a minute. So if you want to do 2 minutes, it's 120,000. And so for our test, we're going to do 5 seconds. So let's go down here, and we got a div ID of header, and then we got another div ID, which is the one right here. This is run ads. Okay, now save it. Alright, the next thing that we're going to do here is that we're going to add an include, which is the page that we're getting ready to make. So let's go ahead and add that include. Remember I told you copy and paste is your friend? It saves you a lot of work, so that's all you have to do. So you save this. Let's go ahead and open up a new page, and once again, once we open up the page, we delete everything. So the next thing we're going to do here is that we're going to add in that file right there. So that's the first thing that we do on this page, and then we create our table. And now let's do some ASP work. Okay, the first thing that we want to do is that we want to do all of our SQL work. So let's jump into our SQL work. Set. Okay, copy this. Okay, let's go ahead and save this right quick. And we're going to save this as ads.asp. Okay, now, takes a long time to save these files. So anyway, the first thing that we want to do here is that we want our SQL script. A lot of people tell you that they would prefer to script by hand. That's fine on small projects. And this is a small project, but to show you everything, I would prefer, let's jump into our SQL Server and let's go ahead and create our SQL script. So once we jump in here, let's go over to our database name, right click on it and choose New Query. Okay, once the query opens, go up here to our Design Query in Editor, open it up, and let's go ahead and add it in our table, and let's close out of it. Expand it, choose each one of these. I do not like using wildcards. Wildcards is this right here. You choose it, and that's all you get. Add units dot that wildcard. Okay, I do not like using it. I despise it. Let's say that if you got a bunch of records, and if you use a wildcard, and it's going to take longer for the server to have to search for them records instead of them tables. So let's say if you got 50 tables and you use one single wildcard just because you want to be able to do it quicker, then well, that's quicker for you, but it's a lot of resource intensive for your SQL Server. So always type out all the information. So we also want to make sure that we get our top one record, and then we want to make sure that we order by new ID. Now what this is going to do is that this is going to make it so that each time that the script is run, it creates a new ID. And what that is going to do is that it's going to show a different record. Okay, let's go ahead and minimize this and paste it right there. So now that's all we have to do for this one right now. So we're selecting the top one record of all of these. We're creating a new ID each time that this is run. So next thing we're going to do here is that we're going to check to see if we've got a record. So if in the file, then response.write, there are currently no records available, period. Else we want to go ahead and display our records. So we want to go down here to tr td style, font size is going to be 7 point, and then width of 468 pixels and height of 75. Now so what we want to do right here on our else is that we want to create a record, a variable for each one of our records. So we do AD ID, AD name, AD image. Okay, and then AD clicks. So, alright, so now we do RS run ads. Like I said, copy and paste is your friend. Okay, now we want our AD name to be right here. We break it, and now we want to have our URL that goes to our other page, and then we want to have a question, and it's ADS, ADID, title, AD name, and then target link. This way it will open up in a new window. Image source is AD image. Close it. Alt. Title. Close it. So we got AD name. We also want to make sure that our height is at 75. So, want to break it down and span, style, font, size, 7 point. Okay, right here is our, we're going to make sure that whenever our name is run here, that if it is longer than, let's say, 25 characters, then it's going to break it off and it's only going to display the first 25 characters. And also want to break here, and then our clicks is going to get right here. Okay, now let's go ahead and close out of everything. Well, want to end it, and then grab a hold of a record, dot close, set it to nothing. Okay. Alrighty, and then we save. Now, if things go right, whenever we run this script up here, it should run, as long as our jQuery is correct and this link is correct and our SQL is correct. So let's see how we did.